let me tell you this story. So, Kona sadly passed away unexpectedly in November of 2020. And we had one dog for a long time, just Hana. And then in 2022, in the spring, right after Chloe was born, we had an electrician working in our yard. And, yeah. And he had a dog with him. And so I was like, oh, we should go let Hana play with that guy's dog. I bet they would have fun while they're here. Because I figured, since the guy brought his dog in our yard, I figured he must be a nice dog, and this dog must always go to work with the electrician. So I say to Michael, hey, there's a husky in our yard. You guys are going to go check it out? And they go out there, and they're like, the electrician doesn't have his dog. He left his dog behind. And I was like, Matt, why did the electrician leave his dog? That's weird. And then Matt says that wasn't his dog. And I'm like, what? Whose dog is this? And so we don't know how Maui got in our yard. So we start looking at our security cameras. We have got like 50 security cameras. There is no angle of our yard that you cannot see on multiple cameras. We search every single camera. There is zero evidence of Maui entering our yard. It was crazy. Like, he literally appeared in our yard and we can never find him coming. Like, all of a sudden he's there and then you go back, but like you could never find him coming. It's just crazy. So we were like, oh my gosh, someone lost their dog. So we've got to return this dog. So we make some signs.
We kept him for the night, then like gave him some food. We're like, well,
Yeah.
this is interesting. We get to keep him for a day.
Yeah.
You know?
And then we posted on like local groups, like,
we contacted
this
like
dog.
our whole street, and we're like, is this a neighbor's dog or what's
Yeah.
going on?
And we went to the dog shelter too. And then the next
I know,
day,
we tried everything.
we went to the vet. I think we went to 2 different vets, but then the second vet checked for the microchip, and he was not microchipped. I mean, she looked all over his neck, and she's like, well, sometimes they can travel. So she's like searching his neck all the way down his chest, like his front legs, like making sure his microchip didn't move. And she was scanning him. And we have a video on YouTube. We don't show like the whole scanning because she was doing it for like 2 minutes, but she scanned and couldn't find any microchip. She's like, this dog isn't microchipped. I'm like, oh my gosh.
And no collar.
No collar.
And
He
no
was
collar marks.
Yeah, no collar marks. Like, he was too scared to get in the car. He was too scared to like wear a leash, and we were just shocked. Like, who would have this really nice dog and wouldn't take care of it, and
I mean,
wouldn't be
maybe
looking
the
for
previous
him?
owners were mean or something.
Yeah, and they wouldn't like take it on a walk. How is this dog so big? Because when we got him, he was already 75, 80 pounds. Like, how do you have a dog that big and he's too scared to go on a walk? It was just crazy to me. So I will never forget when we were in the car and we found out he wasn't microchipped.
We were so excited.
We were like
"Wait, maybe we can
thrilled.
keep him."
The second we found out, we were like, oh my gosh, I want him. And
We
we
were
just
already
liked
thinking
him.
of like names and stuff.
Oh yeah, already thinking of names.
And we were trying to find out like if he already had a name by calling him random
He
names.
didn't look to any name we called. So we ended up keeping him, and he was still exiting his puppy phase and learning how to be around people and in the house. So he trashed our house a lot. Like, he ruined our couch. He ruined multiple bed mattresses. Like, he really was destructive at first, but he just was so sweet. I mean, we would not have kept a dog that we didn't think was sweet, especially because we didn't raise him from puppyhood. Like, you never know. And with the breed, we were nervous. Matt was really nervous. He didn't want to keep him.
Because we were looking
But
at what
he
American Akitas are like, you know, aggressive
Yeah.
and not good with kids or whatever.
There's so many sites. If you just Google, like, should I get American Akita? It pretty much says don't get one. It pretty much says how they're aggressive. They can, like, act weird and all this stuff. But Maui is so sweet. Like, that clip of him in the video that I'm replying to this on, of him taking his food, I do not know a sweeter dog. And
He's like an
this
angel.
is why I think he's Kona reincarnated, because Kona was the sweetest dog I've ever known until Maui. And I kind of think Maui is like slightly sweeter than Kona because he's so big and he takes his food so gently.
He's a gentle
like,
giant.
He is. There's like zero chance he will bite you. Zero chance. The only thing he doesn't like is people climbing on his back. Like, if someone tries to ride him, he'll growl. And that's a good sign, because growling lets you know someone might bite. He's never bitten anybody in our family. And Chloe has gotten on his back, and he doesn't growl at her. I think he understands, like, she's a little kid. And we obviously teach her boundaries and tell her, you know, we don't get on doggies' backs. We don't do that. And she knows and everything. But, I mean, that's the one thing that when we were testing him, we were picking up his paws. We were, like, you know, digging in his food bowl while he was eating, seeing if he would get aggressive with food, like, bothering him while he was eating. And Nothing
good
bothered
boy.
him. Nothing. Yeah, the only thing he didn't like was if you tried to straddle him and like sit on him or doing, which you shouldn't do anyway.
Yeah, I can like touch his face and his paws
Oh, yeah.
and stuff, you know.
You can hug him. That
He's
was
a
my
good
thing.
pup.
I was like, can we hug this dog? Because if I'm too scared to hug my dog, I can't have him. And oh my gosh, I can hug him. You can hug him, lay on the ground and cuddle him. And like, oh my gosh, he is so sweet. But if you are a bad guy, we will know. Like, he definitely lets us know if there's anybody near the yard.
Oh, he'll definitely be on high
Yes.
alert.
And
He'll
he's
bark.
really well trained. Like, if I'm okay, he's okay. If we're like, Maui, what is it? Or we say like, sick him. You know, just different things that we'll say to him. Like, he knows that means my owners are not good and I'm going to go take care of it. And Maui has been very protective. I mean, Matt kind of jokes, but Maui's like 5-0. So I'll just leave that right there. But he'll protect us if he needs to. So he's a good boy. He is like literally one of my favorite dogs I've ever had in my entire life. So that's the Maui story. Sorry this is really long, but there's a lot to that sweet dog, and he deserves a long video.